are live here at the Palms Convention Center inside La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. Obviously, we are here for the B.You Conference by Berla Mundi that is keen about encouraging young women, mentoring them, empowering them to realize their dreams and actually go for gold. And as Ytainment Media, we are here to hear what the people have to say, the attendees, their expectations. Have they been here previous editions? And we'll possibly speak to the speakers and Berla, the woman of the moment herself, to know what or why they came up with this, the inspiration behind this conference, and how it can help young people realize your dreams and chase your goals. This is Ytainment Media. My name is Isabi. Stick with us. Okay, so we are at the breast screening stand at the B.You Conference happening live here at the Palms Convention Center inside La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. And we've got the professionals. So yeah, I have here with me Mr. B.You and Theodora. Okay, so my first question, what inspired you to be a part of this conference?
Okay, October being a pink month for breast cancer awareness, and as part of our corporate social responsibility, we have partnered with Dorothy Foundation to collaborate with Berla Mundi to create awareness about breast cancer. So we are here to offer free breast screening exercise, and those who are suspected to have the lump in their breast, we will direct them to our facility, Urake, we are born in Old Metro TV Junction, where we have the program scan for those above 40 years and ultrasound breast for those below 40 years to undergo the scan process. Yeah.
Okay, so free screening, who is eligible to get their breast screened or scanned?
Okay, so men and women can also get there. Yes, so if you're a man, you can equally get a breast cancer. But mostly women do get it a lot. So that is why when we are doing it, you see the women in the flyers and all that. So if you come to us, we'll teach you how to do the examination yourself. If you're a woman, at least once in every year, you're supposed to do an ultrasound, which we are also advising them to do as well.
Quite rare to see men going to the hospital or even being worried about going for a breast screen. Do you think there isn't much awareness about it? Because I don't even think most men know that it is okay for men to go for breast screening.
Yes, what you're saying is true. That's why I said earlier that because women get it more, that is why we normally do the women, but it's also I think that's something that we have to look at, so that we'll be telling them, because a lot of men don't know that men can equally get a breast cancer. And because when you get it, sometimes you don't even feel any pain. You can even have a lump in your armpits, which can also indicate something like that, a breast cancer or something. So whilst we are here, we are also educating the men and the women on how to detect it. The earlier you detect it, the better.
Do they get the results right after the scan, or they would have to wait for a couple days? And if so, how do they get it? Do they come to your center, or you send it to them?
Okay, so currently what we are doing over here is we are doing a physical examination. So that one, you are using the hands to check whether we will have any abnormal lumps. So when what the hand sees, that one we will not be able to tell whether it is cancerous or not. So we advise them to do an ultrasound. That one will tell more about, because sometimes the hands will not be able to feel if the lumps are that small. So when you do the ultrasound, that one you'll be able to see whether you have any lumps, any abnormal lumps or not. So we'll not be able to tell exactly that you have a cancer or not. So further investigations need to be done.
Physical examination and education, whatever developments they perceive, then you would continue with treatments at their center, if I'm right. It was really nice interacting with Mr. B.You and Theodora. And the men, you heard her, you have to go for breast screening. Women are not the only people prone to getting breast cancer. Men are also very, capable of getting them. So please get your screening done today and be sure you're safe. So we are still at the breast screening stand, and we have the beautiful Dr. Pate here to share her insights on breast cancer awareness. So Dr. Pate, my name is Isabi, and thank you for joining me. What would you say inspired you to be a part of the B.You's conference?
I've been a women's health advocate for the past 9 to 10 years now. Everything about women and inspires me. I just want to encourage women. I want to be part of their motivation. And so I do my little quota in terms of health. So we are in an era where we want women to be proactive about their health. They should be in charge of their health, be able to pick up signs and symptoms that should make them come to the hospital in time. So such a time like this, we think of breast cancer. So I think it's the best time to enlighten the women about breast cancer, because it's something that is becoming a lot in our community. We roughly have 2.3 million cases of it annually worldwide, according to WHO. And in Ghana, 460 cases recorded annually in Kolebu. So it's quite a menace, and we have to teach the women how to examine their breast. I believe that when these symptoms are picked early enough, the chances of the disease not making you die is very, very high. So 1% chance at stage 4 and 99% chance at stage 1, 2, or 3. So it's good to learn how to examine your breast.
You mentioned that women have to be encouraged to go for breast screening. Is it only women? Because I heard from your colleagues a few moments ago that men can also get breast cancer. How do we educate men and encourage them to go for breast screening?
Because women, our breast is bigger, the probability of having breast cancer is higher, but it occurs in men, and there's a percentage of 1% to 2% in males. We've actually gone for screening at a facility where we examined, I think, a 19-year-old child who had a lump in the breast. It was a male. Apparently, his dad was the one who came for screening, and then the son just tagged along. But we picked up the lump in the son. We did a biopsy, and then we were able to pick that it was cancerous. So, and it's so funny how the age bracket is coming down, because for a 17, 18-year-old to have breast cancer is very weird. But that's the reality, because we are in an era of westernization, and our diet and lifestyle is changing. So it's not a bit of a surprise. That's why I encourage the women, the young women in the universities, in the tertiary levels, they should all be proactive. At home, should learn how to examine their breast at least every month, a week after your menses, when the breast is less lumpy, and then you would try and examine your breast. Make sure that you would pick up any lump and then send it to the hospital for a nurse or a doctor to also examine.
Can you take us through the process, a quick one on how we can examine our breast?
All right, so a quick one. The breast is divided into 4 quadrangles. We have the left upper outer, left upper inner, left lower inner, left lower outer, and left lower inner. So we need to examine the breast with the pulp of your finger, the flat side of your finger, and then you would place it on, so the left breast examines, the left hand examines the right breast. Your hand, the right hand will go up so that there'll be full coverage of the breast, and then your left hand with the flat of your finger, you start pair the quadrangle.
Okay, so the beautiful Dr. Pate just, had a very insightful interaction with us, and it's very important for me to throw it out there. She just made it known that tomorrow is her birthday, so happy birthday in advance to her. Yeah, God bless you so much for all you're doing for women. Yeah, my name is Isabi. Thank you for joining me. For joining me. It's just a couple questions. Okay, so in one of your submissions, you mentioned that young brands or young entrepreneurs shouldn't be fixated on what other people are doing and rather focus on themselves. So with that being said, how do we young people take the opportunity or be able to stand out among the crowd in order to attract potential customers?
I mean, I think I also mentioned one thing, that as young people, and everyone, in fact, myself included, we need to pursue excellence, okay, in whatever it is that we're doing, whether it's products that we're selling, it's services that we're offering. We need to focus on being at the top of our game and then giving people excellent services and products. I think that is our competitive advantage.
The B.You concept, the project, is actually more about encouraging and mentoring young people. So what about people that do not have the opportunity or are not lucky enough to meet people that are willingly ready to mentor them? What would they do in situations like that?
I think we live in a very digital age. I mean, you would agree with me that a lot of things are happening on social media. So I think you really don't have to wait to speak to that person in person. And so waiting on someone and not getting access to them should not be a problem. Look around. There are so many people that are doing things that you admire, that are inspiring, and you could follow them on social media and learn from them.
Thank you very much for your submission. So during your submission, during the panel session, I was quite intrigued. You mentioned that you conquered or you went through a lot of failures, like your journey to success. How were you able to persevere? And you even mentioned that at some point you were scared to air out your opinions. How were you able to persevere against or to get to where you are now?
So first of all, one thing I put at the back of my mind is not to blame people for things when things don't go well. So I think even during the submission, I mentioned that if your friends don't post your flyers, if your friends don't talk about your business, if they don't order from you, ask yourself, are you conveying your value to them? So if my friends are not buying food stuff from me, I mean, back then we're all not married, we're living with our parents and they were giving us food. So there's no need for them to come and order from me. But now they are married and now they can use my services. So sometimes it's time, and then you need to go back when you feel, what didn't I do well? What did I do better? Did people ask questions? What kind of questions did they ask? Then you improve yourself from there.
What advice would you give to emerging entrepreneurs on their journey to success? What advice would you give to them? Some cheat codes, some hacks? What advice would you give to young entrepreneurs?
Okay, I would say that first of all, start with a growth mindset. So if you start with a big mindset, whatever you look up to is big. So I looked up to brands. So when I started, it wasn't a service it was a contemporary service. And people didn't understand the fact that how can I let a grocery delivery service shop for me, buy my Kobe and my tomatoes and everything. But I looked up to services like Walmart, Whole Foods, and then Hello Fresh in the years. And then took inspiration from them and tried to make it suit our Ghanaian way of life. Sometimes we have very incredible ideas, but how do the people around us understand it? So like I said, I use stuff like aboboloshi. Yeah. You know, those terms, when you use them, people get to understand where you're coming from. So let's try to localize our ideas, no matter how foreign it is. Use the chi, use anything to let people understand, to help them resonate with your idea.
During your submission, I think you spoke more about mentorship and how important it is. So what about those who do not get the opportunity or are not lucky enough to get people who are willingly ready to mentor them? What would they do?
Yeah, I think one of the speakers spoke about this. You can actually be mentored from afar without even knowing the person. So for me, there are certain profiles, in the corporate world that I follow. I check what they are doing, and I learn from some of the things that I see them doing. So even though some of these people don't even know me, I'm able to learn from their experience and the kinds of things that they do. So that's one of the ways to get mentorship without being directly connected to people.
As a marketing strategist, what advice would you give to young people or emerging individuals who are ready to get into the field that you are in?
I think that one of the best ways to grow, get into that field and grow, is really by doing, right? Sometimes some people go to school and learn marketing. I didn't learn marketing. I didn't learn any of the things I'm doing today, but I learned most of it, all of it, from experience. And so I always say that you can't put a price on experience. Do the work, and then over time you get good at it. If you have the opportunity to go back to school to upgrade yourself, there's that as well. There are courses you can take, but I think that the bottom line is that you really should learn from experience. Yeah.
Okay, so aside school, you should also want to practicalize it on the field, if that's what you mean. Yes. Okay, yeah.
For me, that's the main thing. Because if you learn in school and you don't practice it, then what's really the point, right?
Okay, and in your submission, you made it known that you cannot be what you don't see. So in that sense, I took it as representation matters, like looking at people that are doing things you want to do. So the question is, what if you find yourself in a situation or in an environment where you don't really want to be like those you see? What can you do as a person?
It's only mountains that don't move. So you have to move. If the environment is toxic, you're not growing, why do you stay there? Make a move. Like I said, it's only mountains that don't move. You're a human being, so you should move, because your mental health is very important, and the environment you find yourself in is going to shape your mental health. And it's important that you find yourself in a conducive environment where you are growing. So move, move, move. That's what you have to do.
Do you think it is very important for to find a mentor? And if it is, what about people who are not lucky enough to, meet people that are willingly, ready to mentor them?
Do you know, for a very long time, I didn't have a mentor, but I had people that I look up to. So I'll go on their page, I'll read about what they're doing, I'll follow them on LinkedIn, and if I know they're speaking somewhere, I'll show up. You don't have to have a personal relationship with a mentor for you to be inspired by what they do. You can follow what they are doing. In these days of social media, everything is remote. You can get to know people online, follow them, ask questions on their page. Who knows, they will respond to you. It's important that you have somebody that you look up to. That, for me, is a form of mentorship. It shapes your thinking, it shapes how you do things, it shapes how you think, it shapes how you communicate. It helps you to build a plan for where you want to get yourself to. But people think that the only way you can get someone to really mentor you is if you have a one-on-one relationship with them. I have a lot of girls that I'm not mentoring, but they hit me up on my page, in my inbox. And sometimes I know there are people who manage my page for me, but if my people see a question that they think it needs my attention, they bring it to my attention and I answer it. So make use of social media and find the right people to follow to get inspired by what they do.
You already started with advice. So what advice would you give to young people that are willing or are ready to get into the same career path as you?
I think we talked about consistency, excellence, putting yourself in there, showing up and showing up well, doing your research. If you want to get into the tech industry, I think in the next 10 years, all companies are going to be tech industries, tech companies. What do I mean by that? Technology is what is driving the world, and people have to upskill. People have to get new skills that is fit for the fourth industrial revolution. It's technology that we are using to shape the world now, do all the digital transformation we talk about. That is what is happening in the fourth industrial revolution. If you want to be a part of it, there's so many courses online, there's so many books you can read, there's so many certifications that you can do. Make a plan, break them down into bite size, make sure that on a regular basis you are being consistent and driving to achieve your goal. That for me is key, and you will get there. It's not rocket science. It's not magic.
What an insightful interaction. Thank you very much for joining me. Okay, so we are here with the woman of the moment, Berla Mundi. Thank you for joining me. My name is Isabi, and I just have a few questions. The B.You project, it is very unique, one of its kind. What would you say prompted you or gave you the inspiration to do or come up with a project like this? Is it personal experiences or things you saw in the society that wasn't very pleasant?
I mean, I've always said that, first of all, this is something that came to me from above. So it's not like I'm doing this on my own. But of course, I needed to also inject myself into it. But along the line, there were women who were texting me and saying, I want to be like you. I didn't want them to be like me. I wanted them to be themselves and find the best versions of themselves and find their purpose on earth. So that's the whole idea of Be You. So be yourself. Be the best version you can be excellent, be whatever it is, but be you. Don't be like Berla. Yeah. Don't be like Isabella. Do you get it? So that was the whole idea behind it.
The theme for this year's edition, it resonates with me so much. Hey girl, listen up, wisdom from your future self. I'm sure you probably had other options, but why did you choose that for this year's edition?
I'll tell you. So it was me and Angela who came up with this. Like, we're brainstorming, we're trying to figure out what theme to go for. And just in chatting, she was like, hey girl, listen up. I was like, okay, that sounds nice. And she was like, wisdom from your future self, because you're bringing us to come and speak to the younger women. So I must give Angela the credits for this theme, but we're sticking to this theme for the next 10 years.
Oh, every single year?
Well, we'll change a few things here and there, but there are a few things we'll be sticking to.
Were your expectations met? I mean, at the end of the day, what you obviously had a vision board of what you wanted the program to turn out to be. Do you think you met that expectation, and are you content?
I'm absolutely content. I think that for every aspect that we touched on, there were questions. And for me, I was gauging it from the questions that were coming from the audience. audience. And you could tell that they really had genuine questions. They were interested in the conversations that were going on, and they were willing to listen to women who had also walked that path before. So for me, as far as that was achieved, I'm 100% content.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining me. It was an honor. Yes.
Thank you, Ytainment, for coming. I really, really appreciate you guys. I love you guys. So, Yami Baba, Oga, I salute.
Thank you. Okay, so I have a very fine lady here with me. She also, just came to pass through the conference. My name is Isabi. What's your name?
My name is Grace Me.
Oh, Grace Me. You're pretty.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is this your first time attending the event?
Yeah, today is my first time.
Oh, how did you hear about it? Through a friend, social media?
Yeah, it was through a friend, but she didn't even come. Oh. Yes, and it was through social media too. So.
Oh, okay, that's nice. So, but what expectations did you have in the morning, and do you think those expectations were met?
So I came because I really wanted to know what it was really about. My friend who invited me came last year, so she told me about it and she was like I should come. So when I came, I was expecting to, she told me it will be a very nice event and I'll learn a lot from people, yeah. So when I came, it was yeah, I learned a lot, so much, and it has really helped me. I wanted to actually begin things like this, like attend this kind of conferences to empower myself because when you look around, there's so much discouragement here.
So do you think it has helped you, with a shift of mindset? Now you want to do better. Now you want to become bigger. And who did you or who were you looking forward to hear from? And did their speech or whatever it is, whatever conversation they had, did it inspire you in some way?
Oh yes, from Gwen, especially when she spoke. There's this one word that's like magic happened to me. Like I just knew what I wanted to do today. Just today, I knew what I wanted to do. Nice. Like I have known it, but there was no motivation. Yes. So I was like, oh, maybe that's not it. But today, like when she spoke, I knew that was what I wanted to do. So like this has really been life changing. Like
so, you believe in divine timing, and you feel like you were here at the right time.
Oh yes, and all of them spoke about God. Like and what I learned today was that you must have a personal relationship with God. That's one thing I took for myself. Yes, that's one thing I took for myself today.
Okay, Gracie, thank you so much for passing by. I hope you had fun. And I'm here with the beautiful
Emefa.
Oh, Emefa, you look good. Thank you. Okay, so is this your first time attending the event? Yeah, oh, so how did you hear about it?
On social media, Bella's page.
Oh, so Bella is somebody you follow, you admire her. Are you trying to get in the same industry as?
Not really.
So why do you admire her?
Because of how she is and where she started and where she is at the point.
So you think that's motivation to you?
Yes, it inspires me a lot, and I believe that if she can do it, I can also do it.
Of course you can. Okay, so what were your expectations when you first came in, and by the end of the conference, did you think your expectations were met?
Yes, they were.
How so?
I was expecting a lot of things. I was having a lot.
And they were met?
Answered, especially questions.
Okay, so were you able to ask?
And they even emphasized on it more than I even expected. So I'm blessed. Yeah, I'm blessed to be here, and it was a blessing too.
Okay, MFA. And I'm here with
Yaira.
Okay, so Yaira, are you a student? Are you an entrepreneur? What do you do?
Okay, I'm a student of Unimac IG. I'm a level 400 student of Unimac IG.
Okay, so why did you attend this conference, and is this your first time attending?
Okay, actually, this is my first time attending this event. I've actually heard of it. The previous ones, I heard of it, but I wasn't able to attend. So when I heard of this particular one this year, I decided to attend.
What is the main reason for you, attending? Is it for connections? Is it to look for a mentor? What's your main reason for attending?
Okay, I'll say all that put together, but my main reason for attending this event is to be inspired by young women who I'm looking up to. Yeah, basically.
So would you say that your expectations were met at the end of the conference? Would you say, yeah, it has been met, and yes, you got or the reason why you came here, you think that, yeah, you're fulfilled?
Okay, honestly, seeing women doing so much in transforming their world and doing so much in the field of in the corporate field and as well as the entrepreneurship field. I feel like my expectations have been met because I've been so much inspired. After this event, I feel like there's nothing I can't achieve because I've seen people do it, so I can also do it. So I've been inspired.
Okay, so you've had a shift in mindset towards positivity. Okay, Ira, thank you for joining me. One beautiful lady. What's your name, please?
Esther Brady.
Oh, Esther Boyd. Is this your first time attending the event?
Yes, please.
How did you hear about it? Through a friend or what, word of mouth, social media? How did you hear about the event?
Okay, so I heard about this via the B.You Instagram page. Yeah.
Okay. So is there like anybody you were looking forward to see or meet, to hear speak?
Okay, so honestly, the only person I wanted to really speak to was Berla Mundi, but then I'm so glad because I got a chance to meet Gwen, Miss or Madam Gwen, and then also Madam Angela Shermanton.
Okay, so why do you like Berla Mundi so much?
Well, I like her because, first of all, if you really follow her, you'd realize that most of her conversations are geared towards empowering not only the young females, but then everyone in particular. She just inspires me through the work she does, and I've realized that she exudes so much joy in whatever she does. I just like her. That's all I can say.
Okay, so that's why you admire her. So were your expectations met?
Yes, please. My expectations were met.
Okay. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you.